Welcome to this comprehensive guide on Chef interview questions focused on infrastructure automation. Chef is a powerful configuration management tool that has become essential in modern DevOps practices. Whether you are preparing for a DevOps engineer position, system administrator role, or infrastructure automation specialist interview, mastering Chef concepts is crucial. Today, you will learn about the core components of Chef, including cookbooks, recipes, resources, and the knife tool. You will also understand configuration management practices that employers expect you to know. This knowledge will help you confidently answer technical questions and demonstrate your expertise in infrastructure automation during interviews. Chef is a configuration management tool that automates infrastructure deployment and management using code. Think of it as a way to treat your servers and infrastructure like software code. Instead of manually configuring each server, Chef allows you to write code that defines how your systems should be set up and maintained. This approach is called Infrastructure as Code, or ISE for short. Chef uses a declarative approach, which means you tell it what you want the final state of your system to look like, rather than specifying every step to get there. For example, instead of writing commands to install Apache web server, start the service, and configure it, you simply declare that you want Apache installed and running. Chef figures out the necessary steps to achieve that desired state. Chef follows a client-server architecture with two main components. The Chef server acts as the central hub that stores all your configuration data, cookbooks, and policies. Think of it as the brain of your Chef infrastructure, where all the recipes and instructions are kept. The Chef client is an agent that runs on each managed node or server. These clients regularly check in with the Chef server to get their instructions and apply any necessary configurations. The Chef client pulls down the relevant cookbooks and recipes from the server, then executes them locally on the node. This architecture allows you to manage hundreds or thousands of servers from a single central location, ensuring consistency across your entire infrastructure. Cookbooks are collections of recipes and configuration files that define how to configure a specific system or application. Think of a cookbook like a recipe book in your kitchen, but instead of cooking instructions, it contains instructions for configuring servers. Each cookbook focuses on a particular piece of software or system configuration. For example, you might have a web server cookbook that contains all the instructions needed to set up and configure a web server. Cookbooks include metadata such as version numbers, descriptions, and dependencies on other cookbooks. The example shows a simple cookbook definition with a name, version, description, and dependencies on Apache 2 and MySQL cookbooks. Dependencies ensure that required components are installed before your cookbook runs. Recipes are Ruby files containing Chef resources that define the desired state of system components. Each recipe is like a set of instructions that tells Chef exactly what should be configured on a server. Recipes are written in Ruby programming language, but you do not need to be a Ruby expert to write basic recipes. The example shows a simple recipe that installs the Apache 2 package and then starts and enables the Apache 2 service. The package resource ensures that Apache is installed on the system, while the service resource makes sure Apache is running and will automatically start when the server boots up. Recipes can contain multiple resources and can be as simple or complex as needed for your specific requirements. Resources are the building blocks of Chef recipes that describe system components and their desired state. Each resource represents a specific piece of your infrastructure, such as a file, package, service, or user account. Resources are declarative, meaning you specify what you want, not how to achieve it. The package resource is used to install or remove software packages. The service resource manages system services, allowing you to start, stop, enable, or disable them. The file resource creates or modifies files and directories. The user resource manages user accounts and their properties. These resources form the foundation of all Chef configurations, and understanding them is essential for writing effective recipes and answering interview questions about Chef functionality. Knife is the command line interface for Chef server management and node operations. It serves as your primary tool for interacting with the Chef server and managing your infrastructure. Knife allows you to upload cookbooks to the server, manage nodes, bootstrap new servers, and perform various administrative tasks. The Knife Cookbook Upload command uploads your cookbooks from your local development environment to the Chef server, making them available to all nodes. The Knife Node List command shows you all the servers currently managed by Chef. The Knife Bootstrap command is used to install the Chef client on a new server and register it with the Chef server. Mastering Knife commands is crucial for day-to-day Chef operations and is frequently tested in interviews. Configuration management with Chef follows two key principles: idempotency and convergence. Idempotency means that running the same Chef recipe multiple times produces the same result. Whether you run a recipe once or 100 times, your system will end up in the same desired state. This is crucial for maintaining consistent infrastructure and avoiding configuration drift. Convergence means that the system automatically reaches and maintains the desired state defined in your recipes. If someone manually changes a configuration file that Chef manages, the next Chef run will detect the change and restore the file to its intended state. These principles ensure that your infrastructure remains consistent, predictable, and easy to manage, which are core benefits that make Chef valuable in enterprise environments. Here are some common Chef interview questions you should be prepared to answer. First, you might be asked about the difference between Chef Solo and Chef client-server architecture. Chef Solo runs locally without a server, while Chef client-server uses a central server for coordination. Second, handling sensitive data in Chef cookbooks is a critical topic. You should know about Chef Vault, encrypted data bags, and other security practices for managing passwords and certificates. Third, understanding run lists and cookbook execution order is essential. A run list defines which recipes should be executed on a node and in what order. Dependencies between cookbooks also affect execution order. Being able to explain these concepts clearly demonstrates your practical understanding of Chef operations. Congratulations! You have now covered the essential Chef concepts needed for infrastructure automation interviews. You have learned about Chef architecture, cookbooks, recipes, resources, the Knife tool, and configuration management practices. You understand the principles of idempotency and convergence that make Chef powerful for managing infrastructure at scale. You are also prepared to answer common interview questions about Chef Solo versus client-server, handling sensitive data, and run list management. Remember to practice these concepts hands-on and be ready to discuss real-world scenarios where you have used or would use Chef. With this knowledge, you are well prepared to demonstrate your expertise in Chef and infrastructure automation during your next interview. Good luck with your interview preparation.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.